That's all you have now.
I'll be done.
Hi, Ralph.
How are you guys?
Good, thank you.
Good. Just waiting for Christy here, she should be here in a minute, she was printing off some stuff.
This is the first time this has
It's my old spot.
happened.
Yeah. It's my old spot.
I reminded them that they downstairs, I told them this morning about it. Because I said, I'm gonna be here. 65, and that's what one of my original goals. You can join Father's Day.
All right, if we can stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there additional adjournments? Is this
Agent Orange.
Okay. The first prayer of the year. Dear Father God, creator and owner of my life, Lord, I have a simple request for you today. Please protect my family and provide all our needs. Please help me to appreciate everything I have. Lord, as I start this new year of 2025, I want to thank you for everything. Despite of my struggles in life, I'm still grateful because you're so good to me and my family. This I pray in the precious name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
On December 30th, for the Department on Aging, I approved hiring Constance Eman to the position of part-time adult day services assistant to be effective January 21st, 2025, at the rate of $19.23 per hour for the one-year probationary period. The offer of employment was contingent upon the successful completion of the required pre-employment conditions.
and we have a motion for meeting minutes for December 3rd and December the 10th.
Make a motion to approve those minutes.
Second.
Commissioner Brady? Abstain. Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Okay, number 4 on the agenda is the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve the encumbrances to be considered by the Board of County Commissioners to be effective January 1st of 2025.
Make a motion to approve.
Second. Commissioner Brady? Yes. Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Okay, and then today's financials include an appropriations transfer from mental health to move funds to purchase a new generator and provide appropriations to a new community outreach account. There's supplemental appropriations from the auditor's office and their REEF fund to provide additional funding to move RealLink to the cloud and additional staff for CAMA and Board of Review for the state, and then the general fund to cover an increase in the audit costs for the 2024 state audit. Among the encumbrances are the contracts, blankets, and purchase orders from various departments for the new year, including travel requests from the Clerk of Courts to attend the monthly Ohio Clerk of Courts Association meetings, and from Job and Family Services to attend the Clemens Nelson Ohio Child Support Professionals Association Supervisor Training Series. And there's also a revenue certification from Mental Health in their Capital Reserve Fund to recognize additional 2025 revenue that was not previously budgeted.
Make a motion on the financial.
Second. Commissioner Brady? Yes. Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Thank you very much.
Number 7, Judge, getting down.
Number 6. This is our typical mileage rate. In January, we set the mileage rate for pursuant to the IRS. standard mileage rate for the year. And it is now going up to 70 cents per mile, going up 3 cents from last year, so it's just setting that. So that's number 6.
All right, do we have a motion for number 6?
So moved.
Second?
Commissioner Brinkley?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye. Okay, number 7 is Commissioner's office will discuss the request of the probate juvenile court regarding supplemental request $300,000, request for additional outside counsel.
I make a motion.
So do we want to have a discussion on this?
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
there's a. Well, I asked for this to be on the agenda because I think there's a lot of unrest in the county about this issue and that people would like to see it resolved. So I made the suggestion that we put it on the agenda to have a discussion.
It's 2 pieces. I just want, so I know you said you were going to make a motion, but I wasn't sure what your motion was on. The 2 pieces involve the supplemental appropriation request of the $300,000 and then also the request for the outside counsel. So I'm not sure.
Those are 2 or more.
Yes. So I'm not sure how you, if you want to take action individually on those 2 items or,
My motion was to wrap them together.
okay, so,
For approval?
Yes.
Okay.
That you want to approve to give them $300,000?
I just want the motion on the floor so we can vote on it.
Second.
So I'm not clear, what is the motion that we're voting on?
How item 7 is read. We'll discuss, I'll change my motion. Make a motion to not give them supplemental request for $300,000 and not for additional outside counsel.
Okay,
Deny the request.
so motion to deny it.
Yeah.
so I'm a little bit, not clear on this because it says we'll discuss the request. So where's the discussion?
Well, after the second, it's always a discussion after discussion.
Okay. Because I always could understand of having a discussion and then having the facts and then being able to make a motion on that.
I guess either way.
I mean, we're putting the cart ahead of the horse on this. We're going to have a discussion. Let's discuss what it is that
Praise the Lord and pass the
Commissioner Brady
ammunition.
wants to discuss, and we can move from there.
Okay.
I'm getting the look.
Were you able, what facts do you need this time around?
Well, I'm just saying it says we will discuss, so I haven't heard any discussion.
Okay, so I think there's still a second that we need to have to Mr. Dvorak's motion, is that correct?
Take
So
it to him.
I have a motion to deny approval of the $300,000 supplemental and the request for, and the additional outside counsel. That was,
I'll second that
okay.
motion.
So I have a motion and a second on the denial of approval, and now.
Now discussion.
So the part of the code that was cited in the request is Ohio Revised Code Section 2744, .07A1. But just the plain reading of that statute, it refers to any civil action or proceeding which contains an allegation for damages, and then it goes on from there. But, I mean, clearly this is not a civil action or proceeding, this is a disciplinary proceeding, and there's no allegation for damages. What's at stake is Mr. Grindel's legal license, his law license, and his ability to continue as a judge. So, I mean, just the law he cites is clearly inconsistent with the request.
So I guess the other question is that we had this reviewed by legal counsel. Jerry, do you want to explain what they've come back with?
Yeah, when I had the discussion with our legal counsel, outside legal counsel about that, basically the reply was that the board has the authority to provide the funds, but there is no requirement for them to provide the funds. And with regards to the request for outside counsel, that would actually not be approving the hiring of the outside counsel, that would be requesting the prosecutor to seek a joint application with the court to approve hiring outside counsel.
And as far as the legal fees that have already been incurred, it seems to me that the procedure is a bit out of whack here, because the request has come after this $300,000 in legal fees have been incurred, and the commissioners have had no ability to decide what the proper rate should be of this attorney, who the attorney is. It's kind of coming in after the fact and asking for the reimbursement then.
So from what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, Jerry, this was a scenario that the Supreme Court appoints the counsel to this, that the commissioners truly do not have, in this function, we do not have negotiating rights at the time of the Supreme Court basically putting whoever they have on that board, correct?
Correct, that was my understanding, is that the Supreme Court appointed this outside counsel for Judge Grandel in his case. And then, kind of like insurance, when insurance appoints outside or counsel for somebody, then that rolls over. We've never received anything from the probate court on whatever might have been signed off by the judge prior to, that counsel being appointed. So it's not known what was ever, what was decided or what was, and who ultimately is responsible. But Commissioner Brinke is correct. This really should have been done 2 years ago when when the council was originally getting to the point where they were no longer going to be covered by the Supreme Court funds, but were going to be the responsibility of whoever, whether Judge Grandel or the county. But that's when this discussion really should have occurred.
Right. And I think that, as Judge Grandel had stated when he was here, that the bills were not coming to us. And from what I understand, according to what his statement was, is that they basically were surprised by the bills showing up at their office at a later date. And so there was a situation, there was a big miscommunication or misdirection of the invoices along with what's actually going on with the billing on that. And I know to his discontent also, he agreed that the $300,000 was, he felt extreme, that he would definitely be, more than willing to try to assist us in getting those bills reduced. For me, I think that there's, one way or another, we're going to have to reach a settlement. I would imagine that we're going to have to do this, whether we decide to do this here or we get this in a position that they're going to file a suit against us and litigate to get their costs paid. I think that, they got appointed by the Supreme Court and they want to get paid for their services. How this all shakes out at the end is going to be, something that we'll have to make a decision on later. But one way or another, I think that somehow somebody is going to get paid on this because the Supreme Court ordered this law group to make this, to handle this procedure, and they're billing for it. And so I would imagine that their time is going to probably have to be paid for, and how we'll pay for it is yet to be figured out.
Well, I think at best, it's our discretion whether to pay for it, and I think it sets a dangerous precedent for taxpayers to be subsidizing elected officials' wrongdoing. And if we're forced to do this by the court, then that's one thing, but voluntarily entering into it this time, I think that sets a dangerous precedent.
And I guess the only other thing I can tell you is my discussion with the judge on this was that statutorily, he is an employee of the county that was basically put in this predicament, in this position, and that, that he's entitled to legal representation. If that's the case, I don't know. I'm not the legal counsel on this. I'm not an attorney, so I'm not going to comment on what the way that this is going to go. But I would think that one way or another, this is going to show his head again, and we'll have to figure it out then.
I would say I personally find it's a gray area if Mr. Grandel is even a county employee. My understanding is he is partially paid by the state and partially paid by the county. So I didn't even really get into the weeds of that analysis. But as far as, does the statute he cites say what it does? It absolutely does not. and a first-year law student could figure that out.
Okay.
I feel if we're made to pay a portion of it through the courts, then I'll wait for that day.
I call the motion?
Do we want to adjust to the language in it to be, and deny the request for a joint application for outside company?
Sure, do both,
Well,
deny
To deny
the
the approval
supplemental.
of the $300,000 supplemental and the request for a joint application for outside counsel.
Yeah, just to be clear, both would be a denial.
Correct.
Okay.
It was to deny both. And I will add that in. Commissioner Brackey?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWart?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
I'm an abstain, I just don't have really enough facts to make a good, sensible decision on this.
Morning, Shane.
Good morning. I have two items on the agenda today. Item number 8, the engineer's office is requesting the board approve and execute resolution 25-002, authorizing the county engineer to undertake projects using force account in certain cases for the year 2025.
I make that motion.
Second, I did notice one typo in that contract.
Okay?
If you get to the fourth whereas clause, second to last sentence, I think it says the amount not to exceed for the estimated cost of construction or reconstruction. You waiting for me, sorry.
No, I'm waiting for it to,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Including widening and surface of roads, it says is exceed. I think that exceeds just needs to be crossed out, because it says the amount not to exceed. Do you see what I'm saying?
The amount not to exceed for the estimated cost.
Yeah, and then it says exceeds again, that, in the following line.
The amount not to exceed the estimated cost.
Of construction and reconstruction, including widening and resurfacing of roads, is exceeds
Oh.
73,000. So we just need to axe that. I mean, I think we can just, do that and initial it, and that's probably fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Agreed.
I'm good with this, just through, this came from the engineer's office. So,
We did this every year about this.
Yep. Formality.
yep. I contacted Andy, and said, hey, you got it first, and he updated it to the new changes that were made, so. So Commissioner Brackey,
Yes.
Commissioner DeWart,
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier.
Thank you. Item number 9, the engineer's office is requesting the board award the bid to Roniak Incorporated for the asphalt resurfacing of Auburn Road, County Highway 0004, sections R through U in Chardon Township, in the amount of $1,138,813, as they represented the lowest and best bid. The bid bond submitted shall be held as the performance bond for this project.
Make that motion.
Commissioner Brackey.
Yes.
Commissioner DeWart.
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier.
Thank you.
Christie, do you need us to all initial the change on this contract?
You can, if you would like, and then we'll pass it back and have it finished. Just to be sure. And
Good.
When I put it into the, when I drop it into the journal, I'll just remember it is.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Item number 10 on the agenda is for Community and Economic Development. We are requesting the board to approve and reappoint Tamara Plant to serve on the Fair Housing Committee for a 2-year term ending in December of 31st, 2026.
Is this position advertised at all, for the board opening?
No.
Is that standard if someone wants to do this?
We have never, we have had a board in place, and I have not advertised for it, no.
Okay. How are people selected then if they're not?
They have been on the committee for the 4 years that I've been in the department. I haven't actively searched for new members.
Okay. And there's no requirement that this person lives in Geauga County, I take it?
No.
I'm done if anyone else has questions.
You have a motion?
I make a motion on item number 10.
Second.
Commissioner Brinkley?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Good man. She made him $7. Should be maybe $9.
Sorry.
All right, I've got number 11 today. The Maintenance Department is requesting the board award the bid to North Bay Construction Company Incorporated for the Geauga County Annex Generator upgrade in the amount of $146,500 as they represented the lowest and best bid.
Make a motion on item 11.
Second.
Commissioner Brinkley?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Thank you so much.
There it is.
How's things? There he is.
Okay. Morning, Glenn.
Morning. How are we doing today?
Good.
Staying warm?
Yes.
The next item is for us. We work very closely with the auditor's office and Adrian. We get a lot of electric bills and gas bills that come in. So during this time frame when we can't pay bills, we'll get late charges on those.
Is there any way to prevent that in the future, Glenn?
We've been trying for years. I'm hoping the suggestions. Like I said, the auditor's office really works good with us, because we'll get a billing when they say no more bills, and they'll say, bring that one up. I like to sneak some other ones in there, but I don't. I don't want to abuse that, so what we got going with the auditor's office on that.
So just so I understand, so what is the issue? Just because there wasn't a meeting since you got the invoice, you weren't able to pay it, and
Correct.
you're incurred a late cost?
Correct, yes, ma'am.
Just want to make sure I understand. I mean,
Yes, ma'am.
is there, with the credit card policy, is there a way that we could be able to pay some of these utility costs on a credit card and avoid this issue, or it needs to be approved before regardless?
I'd have to look into that. I don't know about the credit card situation.
I will say, my business is negotiating electric bills, or electric contracts, and, one thing you can do is try to change the payment terms from net 30 to net 45, and maybe that's something we should consider doing in the next agreement.
But, yeah, this is something that when we get that bill in, that we can go ahead and pay that late charge. And it's, all our big ones come in, so we can get those. This is usually like $5 or something small. So last year, we only had one, that we had to pay the late charge. So usually, every year, we have about a handful of them. So, and I know the first couple of years, we spent hours and hours and hours of calling the electric company, trying to get it off and everything. And it just, no success.
All right, I'll make the motion to approve 12.
Second.
Commissioner Brinkley?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Y'all have a good day.
Okay.
Stay warm.
Good morning, Commissioners. Welcome, Commissioner Brackey. I just wanted to introduce Kathleen. She's our fiscal and personnel specialist, so in times that I won't be here, she will bring the business up just so that you have a name and a face. You can go with 13.
Okay, so 13 is rescinding a motion we passed last week, and it was for a mathematical error. The penalties were added to the actual total cost, so our total amount that we requested approval for was incorrect. So if we could rescind the motion from December 27th for the delinquent sewer users. So that's first, and then 14 is correcting it.
I'll make a motion on items 13 and 14.
Second.
Commissioner Brinkley?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Item 15 on the agenda is requesting the board approve and execute a change order number 3 with the contract with Agri-Sledge. It decreases the contract by $132,872, and that's for the wastewater treatment plant project. It's still, we had to suspend work for weather, but it's just a reduction of
I
items.
thought you were saving money.
Well, we are technically saving money, there's
Just
still a
not
contract.
doing work though either.
Correct.
Okay.
Now, was this original bill like $430,000?
So we had gone up, the increase, the project had gone up to like over $2 million, we're bringing it back down just because of the additional work and some contingencies that we had in there. As the work has progressed, these are items that we no longer need, and the remaining piece of work is one liner, and one of it will be, but the rest of the work is complete.
Thank you. I'll make a motion on item 15.
I'll second.
Commissioner Brinkley?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Item 16 is requesting the board authorize Commissioner Dvorak, CEO for the Ohio Public Works Commission disbursement request to certify number 4 and final. This is the final request for OPWC funds. It is in the amount of $140,226.53 of the loan portion. We are leaving $37,952.47 in the loan that we will not be going after, and part of that reasoning is because of the additional ARPA funds that were granted for the project. And at this point in time, because of the latency in the project, we're looking to get this closed up with OPWC and get it off the ground. Okay.
I'll make the motion to approve 16.
Second.
Commissioner Brinkley?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
What do you, Chrissy, what do you want me to do about these that are not labeled with,
Just leave them.
just not sign them? That they say Mr. Lennon's name. These all.
Just put it on line.
Okay.
And we'll put your name next to it.
Got it.
And then sign.
I'll have Tim come.
That means you gotta pay the bill.
It's the habit of end of year.
No, that's all right, that's all right.
And the shift.
I just don't want to screw it up.
Okay, so there, can you pass this to Jim? Let's show him.
Okay, 17, 18, 19 are all just annual service contracts. 17 is for AJ Boulder Electric. We'd like to get a service contract in place for electrical repairs and services, and in the amount of $15,000. That's $9,000 for wastewater and $6,000 for water.
I'll make a motion on 17.
Second.
Commissioner Brinkley?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
18 is for CUE excavating contractors who perform general excavating services for us, for both wastewater and water district. So a contract not to exceed $30,000, 15 for wastewater, 15 for water.
Just for
Make a motion on 18.
Second.
Commissioner Brinkley?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
And finally, for Hannon Electric Company, they perform 25 days of on-site PLC, HMI, and SCADA programming services at our wastewater treatment plant. This is their one-year contract, and then not to exceed of $32,000. They bill us $8,000 quarterly.
So is this like an automation system programming? Is that what this is
It's
for?
the SCADA that runs the actual wastewater treatment plant, so
Okay.
they are our professional services that'll come in and can do the programming, behind-the-scenes programming
Okay.
for us, on-call services if we have them. So.
Got it. And the one thing I wasn't sure, looking at the contract, is that a flat rate for up to 50?
Right, so we bring them in to do backups, we bring them in, so it's a flat rate, it's like a
Okay.
retainer, right?
Okay,
So
right, that's
they're-
what I figured. And, yeah, so if they don't use that, you're, but the rate seemed reasonable to me.
We
for-
do our best to
I'm sure
use
that's
up as much
a
as we can.
technical field to program this. All right, I'll make the motion to approve 19.
Second.
Commissioner Brinkley?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, number 20. Commissioner's Office requesting the board approve and execute resolution 25-003 honoring Commissioner Tim Lennon for his dedication and commitment to the residents of Geauga County. 8 years of service. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Do we have a motion?
I make that motion.
A second.
Commissioner Brackey?
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye. Okay, so then item number 21, we'll move for the commissioners will hold their annual reorganizational meeting. So I know we basically discussed some of this at the last meeting, some of the different roles and different directions here of what to do, and today is the day that we'll finalize everything. So I guess we'll start out with the president of the board, been president for 2 years, and I'll nominate Jim Dvorak.
I'll second that.
And then for vice president, do you want to do that?
I'll nominate Commissioner Brackey.
Second that.
Okay. That's okay, so the first one I have is a motion by Commissioner Spillier, seconded by Commissioner Brackey to nominate Mr. DeBoer as president. Commissioner Brackey? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Vote
I
as
was so
president.
confused.
Okay.
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier? Okay, and now I have a motion by DeBoer, Commissioner Spillier, second for Ms. Brackey as vice president. Commissioner Brackey?
Abstain.
Commissioner DeBoer? Commissioner Spillier?
I do.
Still have to go through it. Sorry.
No problem.
Okay.
So with this, and it just kind of didn't seem like there was a whole lot of changes as far as our continue with our meetings at 9:30. On Tuesday mornings, 9:30. Holiday schedule is going to pretty much stay as we have it. So if there's a holiday that falls on the Monday, we would normally meet on Thursday. We'll have plenty of time to notify through public notice if there's any other changes.
Can we put the meeting schedule on the website?
Yeah, we can, we approve that, so yeah, we can put that up there. And they typically have been putting them on the calendar that's on there.
Oh, okay.
Is on there, so like the calendar that's on there, they'll show that it's on there. And now that, we have the screen downstairs in the lobby too, it shows on there when
got it.
meetings are being held as well. Changes to this from when we were in work session was a little bit the, Portage County Juvenile Detention Center.
Okay. So we wanted to kind of just, skim through that, I think that it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, it's just the sessions and meetings held here, whether regular, special, emergency, if there's an alternate location, we would have to take action by resolution to do that. Regular sessions, meetings, obviously we approve the schedule for the year, making those adjustments for the holidays. Advancements of all commissioners' meetings, we have the distribution list for the agenda. They've been being posted onto the website. With the change in the front desk, it may have been missed up the last couple, just based on changes within the office. You can have additional meetings as required in a time and place designated, that you can attend any meeting called by county office holders, department heads, administrator, or legal counsel. Meetings of the Township Association, CCAO, regular special meetings following boards and councils of the forum, where the commissioners may be present, include any township trustees meetings, city and village council, board of health, health advisory council, solid waste management district, soil and water conservation district meeting, planning commission, NOACA, NACOG, CIC meetings, so we can get that going again. Investment Advisory Committee, Ohio Public Works Commission, Agricultural Society Fair Board meetings, and receive applications to attend groundbreaking for any celebrations and memorial services, regular parades, any news with organizational political actions discussed items of mutual concern. Time, place, and purpose of all special meetings in addition to regular scheduled meetings to be held at least 24 hours in advance. All such meetings will be convened at a requested notification except in the event of an emergency requiring immediate official action. And then there would be calls, notify the news media that the requested notification immediately will take place in the purpose of the meeting. So that is your item listed as number 3. So are we good with that?
I can't hear it all.
I think that was,
Second.
Commissioner Brady?
Yes.
yes.
Aye.
And then based on the work session that we had and the notes that were taken as to who amongst yourselves, you guys were kind of discussing like where you'd like to be and this, that, and the other. So I have on here for the ADP board, the primary is Ms. Brady and alternate is Mr. Dvorak. Board of Revision is Mr. Dvorak, with the alternate is Ms. Brady. Community Corrections, I only have Mr. Spitaleri, so I'm not sure who the alternate is.
I guess I can have that.
The Courthouse Security Advisory Committee is listed as the president, so that will be Mr. Dvorak, but I need an alternate for that.
Is there anything you're interested in, Commissioner Spitaleri?
It's fine, I can.
Okay. And then I have Family First, Mrs. Frankie, alternate, Mr. Dvorak. The Financial Review and Report Committee is president as primary. I just need an alternate for that.
I can do that.
Agricultural Society is all 3. Solid Waste Policy is typically the primary is the president. Do we have an alternate for that? This is policy.
I could do that.
Obviously, all 3 of you sit on the Board of Directors. Health District Advisory Board, I have primaries, Mr. Dvorak, alternate Ms. Freaky. Investment Advisory Committee is 2 commissioners. Mr. Spitaleri asked to be on that. I just need a secondary. I'm an investment advisor.
Do the person. Do you want to do it? It doesn't matter to me.
All 3 of you can be present. I just need to know who the 2 primary and alternate are.
I'll take it.
No WACA. Mr. Spitaleri has Mr. Pott.
I'm going to probably change that to Walter Claypool.
I have Ms. Brakey as Mr. Hajar and Mr. Dvorak as Mr. Dvorak. NACOG, I have.
Well, just to stop, but if we're, shouldn't we have the engineer as a backup to one of us, the county engineer? I don't know if you have a strong feeling, Commissioner Dvorak.
Yeah, that's how it normally goes. Somebody from the engineer's office, an engineer for roads and bridges is normally chosen.
Do you think Mr. Dvorak should be replaced by Mr. Hopp for your alternate then? I mean, I'm just saying, I just feel like the engineer should have a
the
role.
engineer.
Yes, the engineer is not currently an alternate, based on Mr. Spirelli's alternate suggestion.
Yes, I'm comfortable with Andy Hopp being my alternate because.
You're going to direct him, you're going to direct do for water quality.
Yes, because
It's
that's.
down on the list.
Okay,
If you
okay.
looked
I
at
didn't know
it,
if you had that ready or not, but yes,
It's in here.
Nick and I have been talking to him about that for a year, about the water quality and things like that. There's spaces on the WACA for that, and it really fits his department best.
Okay, so I have that changed now as Mr. Spitaleri, Mr. Claypool, Ms. Brakey has Mr. Hajar, and Mr. Dvorak has Andy Hopp. So NACOG, I have Mr. Dvorak as primary and Ms. Berkey as alternate. Planning Commission is all three of you. And then revolving loan and local revolving loan will be Mr. Dvorak as the primary, and Mr. Spitaleri will replace Mr. Lennon's position until December 31st of 2020.
Okay.
So that is the first portion.
I'll make a motion for the, from 1 to 14.
I'll second.
Commissioner Brinkley?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyle?
Yes.
Aye.
Okay, so then, the following two actions are to appoint additional alternates to the ADP board and the board of vision. So the primary for ADP is fourth alternate is and then you can choose to appoint an additional alternate if either of you are unable to attend Commissioner Spitaleri, or you can appoint another alternate from the office.
Do we do Ms. Rennie?
Yes.
Okay, so then I have to the ADP board, Ms. Brady is primary and alternates, Mr. Dvorak, Mr. Spitaleri, and Ms. Berhenny to be in effect for year 2025.
Do you need a motion on that?
Yes, please.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Brady?
Yes.
Commissioner Dvorak?
Yes.
Commissioner Spitaleri?
Aye.
And then the next one down is the same thing for Board of Revision. It's going to be and then do you want to just leave it as the same as the AEP with Mr. Spitaleri and Ms. Berhenny?
Sure.
Sure, that's okay. Can you give a motion on that, please?
So move.
Second.
Ms. Brady?
Yes.
Mr. Warren?
Yes.
Mr. Spitaleri?
Aye.
And then the next one down, Mr. Dvorak, is the one that we were just discussing with the appointment of Mr. Boyles to the New York Water Quality Committee with an alternate of Ms. Shale for the year 2025. Is there other appointments to the NUACA subcommittees that he also needs to be appointed to as well?
Nick?
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't have it in front of me.
Is he still in here?
Yes.
Is it air quality?
It was, air, currently, the ones that you're on, Commissioner, are air quality and feedback.
Sorry, what was the other one? Air quality and what?
Feedback, bicycle pedestrian advisory.
Okay. I didn't know that.
So you then want to appoint me to the water quality, the air quality, and the impact?
Yeah.
Do you want
Nick.
to,
Nick Morris.
okay, do you want to remain your alternate for all three of those as Ms. Shale, or do you want to just have Ms. Shale for,
Michelle, just for the water quality.
okay, and then Mr. Dvorak for the air quality and impact?
Sounds good.
I'm just trying to make sure we get all of
All of our qualities taken care of.
Okay, so then do we have a motion on there?
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Brinkley?
Yes.
Commissioner Dvorak?
Yes.
Commissioner Spitaleri?
Aye.
I'm going to let you guys take
The next one will be the appointment for the county administrator. Any discussion on that?
No discussion.
Okay, we have a motion for Gerald Morgan.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Commissioner Brinkley?
No.
Commissioner Dvorak?
I'm going to vote the same way as I did last year. No.
Commissioner Spitaleri?
I'll vote yes. With the statement, Jerry served this county for quite a number of years. both as the Director of Water Resources, who's been engaged in just so many different projects. And I feel this is an unfortunate situation that we would be doing this. However, 2-1, I lose in every vote. So with that, Jerry, I apologize. I've got a lot of respect for you, and I think that you've absorbed a tremendous amount of pressure that has been placed on you in so many ways I consider unfairly. And I think that you will move on to whatever you decide to do. That, you'll look back a year from now and be probably very content of this today. So my heart aches to see you go. I apologize to you and to your family. You've never looked to make this decision. You've been a huge asset to this county. You know, so were involved in us being able to sit here in this building today that we could not have done. And there's been so many commissioners and so many administrators that have worked on this, and Dave Blair will tell you that this was a huge project to undertake of putting this county in the right direction. And I really appreciate everything that you've done and what you've done as far as water quality in this county, and just your knowledge of being able to just pick up the phone and be able to have that endless resource of information that will be truly missed. And it's going to be missed by so many of these residents also, because of your knowledge of just being that institutional knowledge and that guy that knows. And so, you know, with that being said, I'm sorry, and it's an unfortunate situation to be in today, you know, for you and for me, and for the county. So, with that, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for those words. I can honestly say thank you both to the commissioners too, and this will probably be the first time in all the years I've been appointed as county administrator that I'm truly actually really saying thank you, because it takes a huge load off of my back. Thank you.
Jerry, we're gonna miss you.
Thank you.
Yes, we
The
will,
whole-
sir.
the whole county is gonna miss you.
It's not the way you do it.
Thank you, Jerry. We'll be here all year, keep an eye on things for you, Jerry. Thank you.
Wish we had moral courage in this county.
Moral courage,
So the next action that's happening.
integrity.
As assistant county administrator.
So I'm going to move to appoint Linda Verhenny as Assistant County Administrator, as well as Acting County Administrator.
I second the motion.
Commissioner Brinkley?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWitt?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
I'll make the motion to approve Ms. Blair as Clerk to the Commissioners.
Second.
Commissioner Brinkley?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWitt?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Thank you. The next is your staff appointments.
I'd like to make a motion to, all the way through to approve the Director of Department on Aging, Director of Community and Economic Development, Chief Building Enforcement Official, Director of the Department of Emergency Services, Director of Job and Family Services, Director of Maintenance, Director of Water Resources, Sanitation Engineer Resources, and the dog warden. That's my motion to pass all those.
Second.
Commissioner Brinkley?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWitt?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
On behalf of the directors. The next action action is to request the board to appoint Deborah Ashburn to act as acting clerk of the event. The Commissioners clerk is unable or unavailable to perform those duties at any time during the year 2025. And further appoint the county administrator pursuant to ORC 305.30 to act as acting Commissioners clerk of the event and Ms. Ashburn is unavailable or unable to perform those duties during the year 2025.
I make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Brady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyle?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
The next action is a resolution 25-004, authorizing the county administrator to exercise powers delegated hereby under ORC 305.30 for the year 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Brady?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWart?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
The next action is your drainage engineer. There's two actions this year. The first is to approve and execute the agreement for the county engineer to perform the drainage duties set forth in chapter 6117 between the Jog County Board of Commissioners and the Jog County engineer during the year 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Brady?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWart?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
And then following that is to appoint in behalf of the drainage engineer and set the compensation for 2025 at a bi-weekly rate of $497.85 effective with pay number 2 through pay number 25 and $497.84 for pay number 26 in accordance with the agreement dated January 7, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Brady?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWart?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
The next is for your prevailing wage coordinators for 2025. The last year was Mr. Boris and Mr. Lazar. Do you want those to remain the same, or are you going to make any changes to those?
I'd like them to stay the same. And I make the motion.
I'll second.
Commissioner Brady?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWart?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
And then this is the new. So as you all know, the credit card policy changed for this year effective January 1st, 2025. So this is a little different than what we have done in the past. Commissioner Spillier and Commissioner DeWart, we now have to approve a resolution, 25-005, which will approve the use of county credit cards for the year 25 for agencies and cardholders pursuant to ORC 301.27. Attached to each one of these resolutions is what we are referring to as Exhibit A, and that is the designation of the offices and departments, including the auditor, ADP, common police court, drug court, probation department, probate juvenile court, the sheriff's office, the Department on Aging, Community Development, the Commissioner's Office, the Department of Emergency Services, Job and Family Services, Maintenance, Department of Water Resources. Those are the ones that I currently have. There will be additional ones that will probably be coming next week, so we will have to redo this resolution to include those offices that did not get their credit card information in time. So that is the first action that is before you, is to approve the resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Brady?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWart?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Okay. The next action then is to request to approve and authorize the president of the board to execute the applications for authorization for use of county credit card forms for the year 2025 pursuant to 301.27. And I'm just going to leave this in the file. And then you have to sign this.
Yep. So we're lining there with cloud.
So that is number, will be the last action for the work portion of the meeting. So do we have a motion on that?
I sorry, what was this last one? I was signing.
This is to approve and authorize the president of the board to execute the applications for authorization for the use of county credit cards forms. That would be this entire pile.
Got it. All right, I'll make the motion.
Second.
Commissioner Brady?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWart?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Right.
And these are the forms that get submitted to the auditor's office for the signatures to be on file. And then the new policy, then now that the resolution is approved, all of the employees that are listed now have to do the individual form. Now that is part of the policy that will have to include the resolution number and the date of approval. And then those will also have to be signed for the employee, accepting the terms of use for the credit cards. And then they have to be put onto file with the auditor's office as well as our office. So those will be coming, following today. The other item that had originally been on there was for an additional resolution for the unforeseen circumstances and due to some specifics that the prosecutor's office was requesting to be in the resolution, it is being pulled temporarily and will be updated and be presented to you all for next Tuesday. So that is the final piece of the organizational part. And we go back to the regular agenda, which is item number 22.
Okay, item number 22. I have a motion to go in executive session for the purpose of discussing discipline of a public employee.
What department is this for?
Do we have to say that in the motion?
Commissioner asked what department is it for the dog rate.
You said the dog rate?
Correct.
Who will be going in with you for executive session?
Chief Deputy Tom Rowan. Linda.
Can we bring Kathy, Commissioner, is that okay?
Who?
Kathy?
Sure.
That's our HR person.
Okay. Do you have a motion to move into executive session?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Second.
Commissioner Brady?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWart?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Right.
We get to keep these?
If you like.
Will that should be taken after this?
We don't know.
Oh, look at this. It's channel 3.
Where's Chris?
I gotta get used to it.
I don't know. Oh, no, she's here.
I stepped up.
We're out of executive session. 11:10. Call the meeting back to order. We had an executive session and no action taken at this time. And we'll now have public comment. Any public comments?
I just wanted to thank Ralph and thank Tim for the time that I've served with them. They've been great people to work with. County's in good hands with Ralph going forward. And I want to thanks the county, the citizens of the county for, trusting me for the last 6 years, the last 18 years, including Water Resources. So thank you.
Yeah, Diane Jones, Auburn Township. I do have a question about appointments to ADP Board and to Board of Revision. And I understand, Ms. Berkey, that you are the primary
Did I hear that correctly, the primary?
For ADP, I think Mr. Dvorak is for Board of Revision.
Yes.
Okay, could you repeat those appointees to both the ADP board and the Board of Revision, please?
ADP board is Commissioner Brady, and then myself, and then Ralph, and then Linda Brady. Board of Revisions is Commissioner Dvorak, Alderman Brady, and Ralph, and Linda. You gotta pay more attention.
That's what the recording's for.
I'm sorry, the final member for Board of Revision, could you repeat that again, please?
Mrs. Burhoney.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Is that, now, Mrs. Jones?
Yeah,
Go ahead, sir.
yeah, thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Jim Duralian. First, I want to say, all of us who support Matt for a shelter, we appreciate everything he's done for us. So, I want to say frankly again for Tim Lennon for, giving the $250,000. I also support, I support our Fair Board very well too for the upgrades you're putting on that too. The $250 should be a good start for our shelter. Not only saves our dogs' lives, but if you talk to two people they were here. The one lady, the dog she brought in from Tennessee saved her life. The one girl who works at the shelter, she said it saved her life. While you were in your executive session, I just questioned, Matt might have used a little language inappropriate, but emails with somebody from the Flay's office that using F-bombs, that was inappropriate. The way Mr. Dvorak handled it, I'm sorry, sir, bringing that up in a public meeting was inappropriate. That should have been executive session only. Right. You look at Robert Rules of Order. I've been on several boards, and you never do that. And I've chaired a lot of boards. Did you admonish? I think you should admonish Flays, the sheriff, and his deputy for their unprofessional conduct and screaming. Mr. Spitaleri and Mr. Lennon, you couldn't apologize more. I know how embarrassed you were about that, too. So thank you very much for showing how much you care about the citizens here, too. My question is is that there was legal fees for Tim's Grandel, $300,000. A lot of that was instigated by Flays' office. Is anybody, and I mentioned this last meeting, we got $20 million in a new courthouse. Wasn't there consideration about maybe donating that to the Historical Society, putting up a new building, modernized, instead of trying to modernize it? I saw what they did at Berkshire School District. We put millions of dollars in it. 2 years later, we need a new school building. Seems like we're wasting a lot of money there. And then we lost $4 million by him. We can't account for it. And Walters seems to be expenses seem to be going through the roof. Have you thought about some type of public board to consider an oversight for this? We need to have somebody oversighting this money for spending it. Attorneys are horrible about managing money. Usually single practice attorney usually goes bankrupt in 2 years. They don't know how to manage money. Flays has no clue how to manage money. He lost the $4 million under his oversight. We need to do something about that. For a budget for that, and we need to watch over our budget, things like that. I appreciate your time. You've done a good job, Mr. Spitaleri. I have questions about you, Mrs. Brady. I don't know what your allegiance are, but I think you're tied in with Flays too much. You need to become independent if you want to stick around on that board. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments. Anybody else for you?
Yeah, I'd like to speak. Steve Oler, Chief Employee of the county. I'd like to speak on behalf of Jerry Morgan. What happened today was a black mark on this county's history. 18-year employee of the county. Never got an evaluation. Never got a derogatory report. Never was disciplined. But all of a sudden today, he doesn't get reappointed. I think it needs to be looked into. Congratulate you, Mr. Dvorak, because you finally got rid of Mr. Morgan. So you're probably going to be very happy tonight. Ms. Brakey, I don't understand. You've been 1 week a commissioner, and you made a decision to get rid of Jerry Morgan without even trying to work with him while you were in the position of commissioner. It just doesn't sound right, and all this smacks of petty politics, payback, and personal grievances. And I wish people would get over their personality difficulties. Or we'll see more signs on Route 84 insulting former politicians. So I think what happened to Jerry was nonsense. It wasn't right, and he's done far more than anyone realizes. and I'll be done with that. Thanks, Ralph, for all you've done, but I have my trepidations like this gentleman back here.
Ralph, what's happened's happened. I told you what was gonna happen. You have another 2 to 4 years to live with this crap. We have to sit here and listen to it too. What they tried to do to Granito was terrible. What they've done to Jerry is terrible. You and I discussed this, I think, once before, indirectly at the fair. This is gonna turn into a big problem. And I'm gonna be here to take care of it and to handle it in the future. But to let a man go, like you were trying to do with Granito after 30 years, this man, after all these years, you let him go. For what reason? Is there a reason, Jerry, that they let you go? Is it in writing?
They chose not to reappoint me.
Excuse me?
They've chosen not to reappoint me.
Why?
They've chosen not to reappoint me. They have the authority to choose not to reappoint me.
Why have you not reappointed Jerry?
Explanation.
Is there a reason? Is it in writing? You can't let a person go unless you put the reason in writing. You'll hear from me again, everybody, so bear with it. Hope you have a good year.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you, everybody here, because it's gonna be a problem for all you government employees. You all better be careful, because they're gonna hang you out to dry. If I were a government employee in Geauga County today, I'd be nervous. Anybody agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Amen.
Anybody else?
Jody Danko, resident for
Jerry, I hope I
35
didn't
years
say the
here.
wrong thing.
I would agree with what these gentlemen have said here this morning. My issue is why this board decided to fire a man for doing his job.
Right.
Or maybe that is the reason why they fired him. Because they don't want him to do his job, because he's doing it too well. And maybe he's exposing things that they don't want exposed.
Absolutely.
I think we have a triumvirate of power-hungry animals in this county, and it's all elected officials. And it's our responsibility to unelect them, that's for certain. And I think we all know who they are. We start with Walter, we start with Flays, and I think Mr. Dvorak's in that, amongst that group.
Just break it down to it.
They're puppet masters. They got a new puppet in the office today, and beware, because the puppets are very often hung out to dry by the puppet masters. I was hoping that there would be some type of fresh, new ideas, independent ideas. Didn't see it today, didn't see it last week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
Before you do that, can you present this to Terry office?
Sure.
And then.
Oh, I did want to talk about recording meetings going forward, if we could discuss that before we, did you gentlemen have a chance to review the memo that was presented by Mr. Antonucci regarding options for recording meetings?
I'm okay with recording meetings and
So there were three options presented. One would be to stream the meetings via YouTube. The second option was to stream meetings via Microsoft Teams. And then the third option would be to use this press-on system that's very expensive, that was installed and never used in chambers. Of course, that's a longer-term solution. We don't currently have in-house resources regarding the operation of that system. I think as far as immediate solutions, we could do that with the Microsoft Teams or the YouTube options with existing ADP equipment. My preference would be to use YouTube, which is what we use for the Board of Health. It doesn't require a link, unlike Microsoft Teams, where you have to have a link in order to sign on to that. So I don't know if we want to make a motion or how we want to handle that going forward. Is there any other discussion?
no, I'm okay with YouTube.
Yeah, that would be my suggestion, is that the immediate solution is to stream via YouTube. And then longer term, I think we should look into getting this press run system operational. ADP has an appetite to learn how to use it, but they are going to need some training to figure out how to do that. Okay, so should I make a motion to stream our meeting starting next week via YouTube with the help of ADP?
Definitely.
Okay, so I'll make that motion.
Second?
May I ask for clarification?
Yes.
Because my understanding streaming is live
Yeah.
and YouTube is recorded.
So they
So
can do
do I-
both. They can do both. So they can stream via YouTube, and then it would also be the recorded version would also be on the YouTube site.
Can you clarify in your motion if you want to do one or the other or both?
We would want to do both, streaming and then having the recording on YouTube. At least that's how I would want to do it.
Do they need to amend the motion, Christie?
I'm still writing.
I don't even know
We
what
haven't
I
voted yet,
made.
so we only have a motion and the second I'm still. So
What's
I
the
have-
record retention policy gonna be on that?
How long to keep those?
Yeah.
I would have to look into that.
I think there's a lot of moving stuff. I don't think it's gonna happen for
A
another,
little while.
maybe a couple weeks.
I think they're ready to go now. They're ready as soon as we pull the trigger.
So,
Well, the archives is under ADP, so they would be able to address what the retention ramifications of that would be. But I will get back to you on it.
So I have stream meetings via YouTube starting next week using the YouTube live and as well as recording and recording.
Okay, so amending the motion to including recording meetings as well.
Are you good with that?
yeah,
Okay, so I have a motion and a second. Commissioner Brackey?
Yes.
Commissioner Bowe?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
That's for 10.
Yeah.
you have it? Yeah.
Maybe after.
Come on up, Tim, we'll present you with this resolution.
Very nice. Appreciate it. Okay. Have fun then. Good luck, good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck, good luck. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yep, appreciate your service.
Yeah, thanks.
We're gonna need you again.
Thank you.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to
I think
adjourn.
I accomplished what I came to do.
Second.
Aye.
Yeah.